Okay, my name is Samson Siasia, former Super Eagles player and coach. 2 Olympic medals with the under 23s. Now I'm under suspension, as we all know. But I have my academy in Abuja, so we're trying to raise some young kids that become superstars in the future. So that's what's up.
No, thank you very much, legend Samson Siasia. And like you rightly said, you are the most decorated African coach in Olympics history with the 2 medals. So kudos to you on that. Okay, so like I said, I want to just talk today about the highs and the lows of your journey as a footballer and your playing days. So my first question that I really want to ask you is, as a grassroots player coming up in Nigeria, trying to make this dream. Even I was born and raised in Nigeria. At one point in my life, I thought I can be a footballer. What are the biggest challenges that you faced coming up as a young player?
We all grew up in the streets back in Nigeria, so most of the time we're outside playing on the sandy pitch every day, Whenever we see the football, we start playing. That was where we kind of learn our skills and all. But being a professional football player, soccer player, it takes even more than that. We all know that. So having played there, school sports kind of helped back then. From school sports, they picked most of us from there to the on the 20s, so which kind of opened up the platform for us, moving forward. Having played for the 20s, this agent that came into Nigeria looking for players, so we did some tryouts with some clubs. Then he picked a couple of us, I think 4 of us, 3 or 4 of us, me, Benjamin Nzaku, Osorobo by Folate is late now. We all went to Belgium. That was when the career started. I actually prepared very well because I said, this is what I want to do, I want to make sure I don't come back. So I prepared myself very well. So I had some tryouts with Genk. After the first tryouts, they took me. And the coach said, Genk is on 2nd division. Let's try to see if we can go to the 1st division club. I went to Ghent. No, I went to Lokeren. That was where I started playing my professional football in 1989. Around 88, 89, I was in Belgium since then.
Amazing.
That's where the career started from.
Yeah, so just moving to Belgium, was there anything like the language barrier, racism? Was there anything that maybe made it a difficult transition for you?
No. Football is one language. If you can play, everybody kind of so this kid is good and all. They want to be part of what you're doing. So it's a collective sport, team sport. So even until now, there's no racism in football except the fans will come in and start creating some kind of distractions and all that. Sports brings everyone together. Everyone, black, white, green, any kind of person. So that's what is good about football. So we never saw any racism at all. I didn't see it on the field of play and outside the field of play. I never saw it, Until now, when some crazy fans will be, misbehaving and all that, trying to spoil a beautiful game.
Moving forward quickly, the day that you signed your first professional contract, I've spoken to quite a number of Nigerian players, and the reaction is always different, but I get that the feeling overall is mostly the same. So I want to just ask you, how was the feeling for you that day that you signed your first contract, and how did you react?
Well, that's been a long time ago, but of course, that this is like your life, you dreamt of this day. Of course, you'll be excited, throw a little bit of party, call friends and say, well, man, I don't hit that more, you understand? So yeah. I'm in Europe now. I will try to do the best that I can to be here. To be a professional athlete is not easy. You cannot bring your bad behaviors back home and come to the field of play. How it is. They will just kick you out. And if you don't perform well, they have other white people in that same country that can take your place. You have to be good. You have to be better than good for them to actually to be part of them. Yeah,
So very quickly, in your playing career, if we had the time, we could run down so many things, but you achieved a lot. You won the AFCON. You scored goals for the Super Eagles. What would you say, in your own opinion, was the crowning moment of your playing career? What was the one that, of everything that happened, no matter what, you can never forget or, lose appreciation for that moment?
Well, every football or soccer player in the world wants to play in what? In the World Cup. That's the ultimate. There's nothing like the World Cup. You know, as a football player, you never had a chance to play in the World Cup. You think something is actually missing. Look at what George Weah did and all that. One of the best, you know, even in Europe and in Africa, but he never played in the World Cup. I think he's still kicking himself right now as the president of Liberia, that I did everything that I could, but I didn't play in the World Cup. So World Cup, that's the ultimate. Every footballer's dream is to play in the World Cup, nothing else. You know, I'm glad to be a part of the 94 squad that did very well. Then actually scored a goal. So I'm going to be in history book of FIFA. They cannot take that name away. They cannot take that goal away from me. So I'm glad to be part of it. And I, thank God that, and Nigerians actually appreciated what we did back then and now. But I think that's the ultimate. That's it, nothing else.
So just moving on now, I want to just quickly touch about your coaching days because, of course, you were successful as a coach. So let me ask you this question, and I want to take it from a different angle. Regardless of what people in the media think, what maybe people told you, what anybody has said, from your own, in Samson Siasia's heart, how does he rate his time as the boss of the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Is it the time that you look back on very proudly, or, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, you know what? I can tell you that I've never coached the Super Eagles the way I did with the teams, the under-20s and the Olympic team. I had time to actually build a team. The two times I coached the Super Eagles was like 1 month. Someone ran away and they were looking for someone to replace them. They've never given me the Super Eagles position from the beginning, never. The 2 times, last Lagerbag, after the World Cup in South Africa, it took off from there, he ran away, and the Super Eagles had some matches to play, then they asked me to come in. The other time was only said I disappeared in the middle of everything. They asked me to come in, then I was actually coaching the Olympic team. You understand? So I've never been given the Super Eagles job from the beginning before. But some people said I've failed already though, but that's their problem. But that's it. I just won, I think 2 games, maybe 2 or 3 games. That's what I had. But all the same, I think I've done my best to show the Nigerians of the world that I'm a very good coach when given the opportunity to do the right things. And with time.
And I will say, the one that, of course, nobody can take away from you is your success at the Olympic level with the under-23s. Like I said earlier, you're the most successful African coach in Olympic football. So regardless of what people think, I think that, of course, speaks for you and your coaching credibility. Okay, talking about today, just to wrap up, who are the players that excite you in Nigerian football today? Is there anybody that you just watch and you just smile because you like the player? Who excites you?
You mean right now? That's today?
Yes, today.
Well, I would say Osimhen is a fighter, is a goal scorer. Osimhen is on the field of play. He doesn't joke. It means business. Those are the kind of players you want to be part of. You understand? And he's been successful. Look at what he's doing. He has worked hard to get there, and he's doing very, very well. So those are the kind of guys who you will have players that are they when they get into the field, they are business-like players, and this is business. So they go out and do whatever they can to make sure that they're successful. So that's it. And the Chinedu, Buke, those are just, back then, they were just on top of their game, great players, Chinedu was exciting to watch. The boy has so many tricks that you as a coach, you don't even understand when he pulls out some of those tricks. So we had a great time, coaching kids like that, was very good. It was very, very good.
And you just put another question in my head, sorry. So because we're talking about Chinedu Obuke Obasi, I want to ask you, so from your opinion, who would you say was the most talented kid that you coached? It doesn't matter how the career eventually panned out, but, at that young age that you saw the raw ability, the raw skill, who would you say was that person that was very amazing at that age?
No, I just told you. The guy was just...
Okay, so he was the one.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. When he has the ball in the street, the kind of tricks this guy would just pull out and say, what's going on here? Even me that I've played, I go and say, what for you? How did you do that? But it was exceptional. It was when he has the ball on his feet and in front of goal, he's got both feet left and right. We have other young boys that are very good too, but it was just up. It was up there. It was very good.
All right. And finally, my last question that I have for you. When you look at the Super Eagles today, you're a Nigerian, so I'm, assuming that you're still invested watching the games, supporting the team. So when you look at the Eagles today, one thing that I think every fan admits, we have talented players. Osimhen, Ndidi, Iwobi, Lookman, talented players all over. But on the field, we haven't been able to achieve the results that people, ultimately have expected. If you look at the recent results, from your own point of view, just as an educated football person, is there anything that you can say, we need this, you wish we had this? Is there something that you can just point to and say would be helpful for the Super Eagles?
Well, they have the players. I think it's just players don't make a team. Before you can make a team, these players have to come together and play for a while. To kind of make that team. It takes a long time to do that too. With the Super Eagles is the most difficult team you can ever coach. I tell you, they come 1 week, they train a couple of maybe 2 or 3 times. You have to pick a team out of those guys to make one good team. You understand? So it's not easy. So it takes time. While you're working with these guys, you build up time, they get to understand themselves. That's when they will play as a team. As long as they're coming, every time they invite them to come and play, it continues like that. The same players getting to understand themselves. This is not the club side anymore. Picking different players from different clubs come and form one team. It's not going to take 3 months to have a good team. It's not going to happen. You understand? While you're doing that, you're substitution by elimination. You say, okay, this guy didn't do well. I'll bring the other guy the next time. So it takes time to actually have a good team. So I think they're struggling now. The team is actually they're struggling. I watched the game. I'm right in front of I'm at the stadium right now. When they played the last game was it against Ghana here?
Yeah.
The attitude towards the game was not there. They were just, it's like, it's nothing serious. You're trying to go to the World Cup. You got to bring your A game there, man. You understand? We didn't see anyone, the sense of urgency was not even there. You're not playing like you want to go to the World Cup. You think they're going to hand that over to you just like this? No, you have to earn it. Yeah. But they didn't do that. And maybe because they didn't have a team. They have players, but that's not a team. It's going to take a while for them to get a team. So all right. I think we still have some couple of good players out there. But, we don't know. Nigerians are always in a hurry to do things. They don't prepare on time. Yeah. At the last end, they want everything to be good. No. And they start praying. It's like, they're not only going to get God, I mean. You prepare God. Even say God said, if you don't work, you will not eat. You prepare like everyone else so you can get results. So we are always, fire brigade approach, you must win today without a team. Okay, that's what's going on.
All right. Thank you very much. That was my last question for you. It's been a real pleasure talking to you today. I appreciate, your audience, you taking the time to speak to me. I believe I've spoken to you once over the phone, but this is the first time of us having any kind of, interview or long conversation about football. And I'm someone that I love talking football. I'm a lover, I'm a student of the game, but the perspective from people that played the game and, lived the game is always different. So I just love hearing from, your point of view, your perspective. So thank you very much for giving me this pleasure today. I really appreciate it.
I don't know. You're in my diction. I didn't know how you did it. I guess I'm in a good mood. You just say, can we talk? I said, okay, yes, we can, keep up doing the right thing, man. Good luck. And we'll talk soon again, okay?
All right. Thank you very much, boss. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.